Like, I don't even know where to start. First of all, why does Jennifer Lawrence keep talking about the sink? Second of all, they ate a baby in the film. Ladies and gentlemen, and as always, non-binary folks, welcome back to the Dead Film Critics Society. I am one of your esteemed hosts, Aiden Billing. This is my other esteemed host, Daniel Eng. I run GBD Reviews on IG, and he runs Reviewing on YouTube. As I keep saying, and I will continue to say, please support his channel. YouTube always fucks him over. All right, so as always, we're going to start off the episode with some trivia. So what do you got for us today, Daniel?
Okay, well, mine's a little bit of an unconventional question. It's more of a guessing thing, sort of. So
Okay,
I
yeah.
wanted to ask you, Aiden, how many Oscars will Chloe Zhao win at the 2021 Academy Awards? So she's not.
Okay, wait, how many?
Yeah,
How many
so
should
she's
be nominated?
nominated for Best Picture as one of the producers, Best
Mm-hmm.
Director, Best Editing, she edited her film, and then Best Adapted Screenplay as she was the sole writer. So how many of those four do you think she'll win?
I think adapted screenplay is probably going to be one. So I think it's definitely a possibility there. Then I think Best Picture is pretty much. I think she's going to get that as well. Best Director, that's a little bit more tight, but I think she definitely has a good chance to get that. I mean, she could go. I think she could go like anywhere from 1 for 5 to 3 for 5, to be honest with you. So I don't know if
It's
she'll
out
win
of
all
four.
five.
My personal opinion is that I think she'll go 3 for 4. I don't think she'll get editing.
Oh, it's 4. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah,
Jeez.
I
Okay.
don't think
Yeah.
she'll get editing. Director, if you didn't know, is actually more of a lock because she's won every single major directing award, including things like the BAFTA, the
Oh
Critics'
yeah.
Choice, the Golden
Fair
Globe,
enough.
and the
Yeah.
Directors Guild of America award. So she's pretty set
Fair
for
enough.
that award for sure. Adapted screenplay, out of the three I'm predicting her for, is the one where she could lose to the father, Christopher Hampton and Florian Zeller.
Ah.
But
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
I got you.
my official guess is 3. I don't know. What's your official guess? Going to be 3 as well?
Yeah. Let's go like 2 or 3. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go
Okay.
for that.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your piece of trivia?
All right. So today we're going to be talking about one of Darren Aronofsky's films,
Yes.
and I just want to ask you, like a lot of people say that Black Swan is his best film. Some
Yeah.
people say that's Requiem for a Dream, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you, off the top of your head, if you had to guess, how many Oscars was Black Swan nominated for?
Okay. Let me think.
And also, second part of the question, what did it win for? Yeah.
Well, I know it got nominated for Best Picture. Didn't win that.
Yeah.
Got nominated for Best Director. Didn't win that. Got nominated for Best Actress. Natalie Portman won. Don't think
Yep. Oh,
they
there you
got
go.
any supporting nominations. I think it got passed up on cinematography, even if I'm remembering correctly. So I don't think it got that. It probably got editing. It's my guess, at least. And
Yeah.
I think I would get costumes. Maybe makeup as well. So
Yeah.
how many am I at? Like 5.
Yeah. No, 5. You got it.
Oh, I got
Yeah.
it. Okay, and then one win.
Yeah.
Only one win, I'm assuming, or did it get costumes?
Yeah. Only one win.
Okay.
You're correct.
Just for Natalie
Yeah.
Portman. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's kind of
Alright.
sad it didn't get a cinematography nomination, honestly.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably
like I've
deserved
seen
it.
clips from it. It looks fantastic. I
Yeah.
mean, like I think all of Aronofsky's films are shot pretty well, including this
Yeah,
one. But we'll
this
get into
one's-
that later.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I agree
Yeah.
with that wholeheartedly. Yeah, so let's get into a couple of news pieces. I believe you had one, Aiden.
Yes. Okay. So this is actually like pretty big. I mean, like obviously you heard about the new project Secret Invasion from Marvel, and Emilia
Yeah.
Clarke has been cast in the lead role in that
Yeah, I
apparently.
heard.
So that should be
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been seeing a couple of casting announcements for that movie. I feel like I'm gonna bring up the list. I want to bring up the list
Yeah.
quickly.
I think it's a series actually. I don't think it's a
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know for sure. But
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah. Anyways. There's another movie called The Secret Invasion. I swear they've been casting like everybody in this. I've seen like so many people that I know. Well, at least a few people. So currently slated for the 6 episodes that I'm assuming is going to be limited to similar to WandaVision and what just wrapped up Falcon and Winter Soldier. Did you watch the final episode?
Oh yeah, no, I loved it. I
Yeah.
love the show, man. I mean,
You love the show?
I love. Yeah, I think we're just so starved for content at the moment that anything that comes out, I just enjoy. So
Okay.
at least for the most part,
Yeah,
there's a few exceptions.
I
But
don't know, quickly out of 10, what would you give it? I'm just curious for
the
this show.
finale or the entire show?
Just the entire show and the finale. How about both?
I mean, the entire show, I'd probably give it like maybe like a 7.5 or 7. I enjoyed it quite a bit actually. I mean, like
Yeah,
it's good
okay.
fun.
All right.
It's nothing groundbreaking,
Yeah, for
obviously.
sure.
And I like how they kind of tackle like some more societal issues like they did in Black Panther. Like it makes sense, right? Because the whole
Yeah.
point of the show, for
I think it
spoilers for
feels
those
a
of you who haven't
little.
seen it, is
My personal take is it feels a little
yeah,
more unnatural than Black Panther, but I think it
yeah,
works
maybe
for the
just a
most
little bit.
part.
Yeah, like that
Yeah,
whole speech at the end felt sort of like
yeah, it
rehearsed,
felt a little
to be honest.
redundant, but I liked
Yeah,
most of it. I liked parts
yeah,
of
no,
it.
I liked most of it
It
too.
wasn't like cringe at all. I'd
No, it
say
wasn't.
it was maybe a little
Yeah,
awkward, but it wasn't really cringe.
no,
Anyways, the people that have so yeah, so I would also give it a 7 out of 10. The finale
yeah,
also gave it a 7 out of 10 both. My favorite
yeah.
episode was probably the one. I think most people agree with this right now. Is the one where John Walker kills one of the people.
With the shield,
When
yeah.
someone
Oof.
actually dies, that's how you get a better episode of the MCU. Anyways,
Yeah,
this
I
is a
mean, like
pretty crazy
it's pretty
cast.
brutal for
Yeah,
the MCU though.
crazy
Yeah.
cast we got here for Secret Invasion. We got Kingsley Ben-Adir, who was the star of One Eye Miami. I loved him in
Oh,
that.
nice.
Emilia Clarke, who's obviously very much known for Game of Thrones. I've never seen a single episode of Game of Thrones, but
Yeah, it's alright. Me
it's
neither.
yeah, been pretty acclaimed.
Yeah.
Olivia Colman, one of my favorite actresses, recently nominated for The Father. And then, of course, we got Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, and then Ben Mendelsohn as Talos. So, I think that's is that one of the scroll? I'm assuming that's one of the
She's the lead
scrolls.
scroll from
That's the
Captain
lead scroll,
Marvel. Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah,
No, it
definitely
was
a
cool though,
very
cause like,
interesting looking movie. Sorry, not movie,
yeah,
episode,
series.
limited series.
I
Definitely be
gotta say, I
checking that
quite
out.
like. Yeah, like I like Ben Mendelsohn though, like in
Mm-hmm.
for the role of Talos. I mean, like it was cool though because like when Captain Marvel came out and we saw he was in the cast as the lead scroll, we all assumed the Skrulls are going to be the bad guys, but
Yeah.
that was the one good thing that Captain Marvel did. It kind of flipped that on its head a little bit, and that was like creative. I did enjoy that a little bit to be honest, because like I actually
Yeah.
didn't see that coming because he's been so typecast as a
True.
villain, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I think that also kind of made the actual villain, a little weaker. Well, at least that's my
no, that's
personal
true. Jude
opinion.
Law
But
kind of sucked to be
I
honest.
do like that
Yeah,
the Skrulls will be like, kind of neutral slash good guys going forward. I think they'll be interesting to see what role they play in that, especially
yeah,
with their unique
exactly.
abilities. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. I got a few pieces of news. So Martin
All
Scorsese's
right.
Killers of the Flower Moon, which has been described as an epic western that we don't see these days, starring Jesse Plemons, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Robert De Niro, has begun filming. This is a pretty high budget movie that Martin is making for Apple TV Plus. Um, yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that. It probably won't
How
release
much is it
this
being made
year,
for?
huh? Do you
Do
want me?
do we know what the budget is? You said
I
it
can.
was high
It
budget.
was pretty high budget. Let me look it up. I don't know if there's one out yet for sure, because as we know, we still haven't had some final budgets for like, it's $200 million, over $200 million.
Hmm.
It's a lot of money.
Uh,
That's more than The
yeah.
Irishman, so it's a lot of money.
Uh,
Um, I'm very much looking forward to that a lot. I like Martin Scorsese, especially I like his
yeah.
recent movies a good amount. Even though I think some people don't think still his. I think I prefer them over the classics a little bit. That's just me. I don't know.
It's
I think
probably like it's because probably like we grew up like in this
yeah, with
era
the
where
like
he's making
yeah,
these
and
movies, right?
I definitely appreciate things like Goodfellas. I think that might be my second favorite movie. Like right now, my favorite is The Irishman. It might be a little
Yeah.
misplaced in most people's eyes, but just my personal preference. I think it's a really
I think
impressive
mine's
movie.
probably I think mine is probably either The Wolf of Wall Street or The Departed, to be honest. I love
Yeah,
those movies.
those two
Yeah.
are probably well. I mean I'm okay with The Wolf of Wall Street. I'm like neutral on. I
I just think it's hilarious,
I
honestly.
can't.
Me and my
Yeah, the
brother
thing is,
both
I
love it.
couldn't get
Yeah.
the comedy and revel in the subject matter personally, but that's just me. You know,
Yeah.
it's like over the top, but in like sort of a normal sense. While something like Mother or like Killing a Sacred Deer, which I both enjoy. I enjoy some of the wild aspects of those. I don't know. I
Yeah.
like that kind of humor better. I don't know. Maybe something's wrong with me. Mortal Kombat
That's
star,
fair.
one of the I don't know what his name is again, but he reveals that he signed on to 4 sequels to play Sub-Zero. So I'm assuming that Mortal Kombat's playing a lot of sequels. However, with this very mixed reception, I guess I don't know, some of that could be due to a lack of marketing, seeing as he didn't even know it came out. We'll see if any of
No,
those
I had
happen.
literally no idea when it
Yeah.
was coming out. That's terrible. Like for fuck's
Yeah.
sake, then because that it's probably gonna go under the radar. To be honest, I mean, fuck.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, like
it's gotten a
yeah, like
couple of.
literally, like I kid you not, like just found out about it like as right before we started recording,
Yeah.
guys. Like that's how bad it was. And I'm
Hmm.
on top of most fucking big movie releases. Like I don't understand what the hell they were doing there.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like the biggest thing I've seen from like promotion is the Chris Stuckman review. Like he's done a better job promoting the film just by reviewing it and
Oh,
giving it
I
a C
love Chris
plus than
Stuckman.
most people. Yeah, I enjoy his reviews.
Yeah, yeah.
Michael Keaton has been confirmed to play the Batman in The Flash. Pretty sure this is a 2022 movie for the DCEU.
Oh
Making it
yeah,
look like I'm
no.
guessing that there'll be like a Flashpoint slash multiverse introduced into the DCEU for that movie, which I think could be interesting. Again, I'm not very invested in the DCU yet. Still need to see some of I don't know,
Yeah.
at least
I
the
gotta say,
Snyder
like,
cut.
even with all the like crappy shit that's been happening with this whole like I say universe, right? Because it's so like loosely put together. It's like someone built a raft and just duct taped it together. It's fucking sad. Like there's no organization. They did all the big team up movies before they gave each character their individual
Yeah.
movie. They just wanted to rush it to compete with Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
And they let the studio interfere too much. Like Marvel has the good sense to get people who know what they're doing to make their movies.
Yeah.
Like, but DC is just concerned with fucking making as much money as possible, whether or not it makes sense, and that kind of it shows in a lot of their properties, to be honest.
Yeah.
But hopefully, with like releases like the Suicide Squad, this Flash movie, and I don't know what else is coming out, but I mean, like, it would be nice to see them go in like a better direction. And I actually did quite like the Snyder cut, so I don't know if we're gonna get to see that universe come to fruition, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Paul Thomas Anderson,
Okay.
his new film Soggy Bottom. Paul Thomas Anderson. I don't know. Have you seen any of his movies like The Master, There Will Be Blood, Phantom Thread? Have you seen any of those?
I really want to see There Will Be Blood, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah,
I've never seen any of
it's
his
amazing.
films, but
Yeah, you definitely need to
yeah.
see that. So that's set for the Christmas of 2021, looking like it will be a pretty big competitor to the Oscars. It stars.
Oh wait, did he do Boogie Nights?
Yes, he did. So you've
Okay,
seen
I
that?
did see that one then.
Okay,
Yeah, I
yeah.
saw that one.
Did you
Yeah.
like it?
Yeah, it was all right. It was a little bit weird and a bit like
Yeah.
out there, right? But
Yeah.
it was I actually kind of liked it, you
Yeah,
know.
PTA is
Yeah.
a little out there, I'd say, for sure. A little bit. I
Yeah.
think his movies have, they definitely have an element of realism to them, but they also definitely have,
Yeah.
like, some of the weirdest sets of realism. Yeah, this looks like it'll be an Oscar movie. It stars Bradley Cooper, Cooper Hoffman, son of the late Philip Seymour Hoffman, and Benny Safdie, actually. Which is really
Oh,
interesting to me because I think he might be playing a role that might be able to give him an Oscar nomination, which would be really funny if he got an Oscar nomination for acting instead of directing, considering he's
yeah.
already made two movies that I would easily consider Academy Award worthy, but for some reason the Academy hates the Safdie brothers, so that might be
That's
a
whack,
reason why he
man.
doesn't get nominated for acting, but we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Army of the Dead, the VFX team based the tiger. You remember the zombie tiger in the trailer? It was
Yes.
based on Carol Baskin's tiger specifically.
Oh
As
my
a fun
God.
little factoid
It always comes
there.
full circle. Like for
Yeah.
fuck's sake, I never got Tiger King, to be completely honest with you. Like
Really?
I don't understand
Hmm.
why it was such a cultural phenomenon.
I mean,
Like
it's pretty interesting, I'd say. I haven't seen it, but from what I've heard, it's pretty interesting. Even though, like, I think most people know it wasn't like created like, wasn't like if the way it was made wasn't insanely good, but most people found the story very endearing. I guess you just didn't.
no, I mean like it's definitely a strange thing, man. I mean, Joe Exotic is he's
A
he's quite
character?
the man. I will have to say. Yeah, I mean, didn't he run for like either wasn't it president or either governor of Oklahoma or
I
something
mean,
like
that wouldn't
that? I mean,
surprise me at all. I mean, he's technically
yeah,
in, as long as he like gets.
because he's
I
in a
don't know what you need to
polygamist.
run for the governor of Oklahoma, but I don't
Yeah.
think it's too much. Not that you're
But it's
gonna
also
win.
because it's weird though, because like he runs a fucking tiger, like a fucking tiger zoo, pretty much, right? Or like at least an exotic zoo
Yeah,
in the middle of Oklahoma.
that's the
He's
most political
gay,
thing you
he's a
can do.
hick, and he's in a polygamous relationship.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. That's why you run for
this man is
governor,
just.
so you can give more rights to the LGBTQ community and
I
follow,
mean,
and
power to
allow
him,
people
but
to
like
have exotic
just
animals.
it's just so strange, man. Like
Yeah,
oh
I
my, I get,
definitely
I kind of
agree.
get why people like it, but yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know, it just didn't really do it for me. That's all.
All right.
Yeah.
Mad Max Furiosa, the spin-off movie of Mad Max Fury Road, is
Oh,
apparently the
finally.
timeline will span years, and it'll be Australia's biggest film production ever.
Ooh.
I can quickly look up the potential budget because I'm kind of interested to see that. Because
Yeah.
I mean,
It's taking them a while to get this sequel off the ground, to be honest.
2023 is the set release date right now.
Why did they wait so long? Like, because the first one came out in
I think one reason is that
Fury
George
Road.
Miller's currently working on another film that's supposed to maybe get a 2021 release potentially.
Oh, okay.
It's called 3,000 Years of Longing. There's not a lot of details about the story. It stars Tilda Swinton and Idris Elba. I love them both. Yeah. There's nothing about the original one. Made $375 million against a $200 million budget or so. So, I mean, you know, there's a reason they made a second one, financially, from a financial perspective. Anyways, that doesn't lead me. But next we have our trailer reaction. So let me quickly set that up. We're gonna be reacting to the Conjuring: The Devil Made Me Do It trailer, which So we'll see.
Wait, are you recording?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Black police officer. Is this going to
okay
be reverse police? Okay. No.
Jesus.
I think I hurt someone.
No, really.
This is Ed Warren,
Someone's been
here
hurt.
with Lorraine. Alright, let's get started.
What's that audio mix?
Residents of Brookfield were shocked this afternoon by the broad daylight murder of Bruno Sauls.
The court accepts the existence of God every time a witness swears to tell the truth. I think it's about time they accept the existence of the devil.
What? That looks like a...
Whatever
that better be a
was going
TV
on,
interview in the movie, because that looks
whatever
like a TV
happened
interview /
that
documentary.
day.
Yeah.
That was
First
not
in the
Arnie.
waterbed.
It's a witch's totem. We think your family was cursed. And that connection's still open.
Whoa.
I'm only interested in reality.
But I can see things that your people can't.
I am a witch.
No, she's not a witch. No, yeah, she has. She's got like sight. Basically, she can like see into the spirit world.
Isn't that the same company that made the Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
No.
Something terrible happened here.
The murder.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
What was that
Fucking
edited?
came out of nowhere, man.
Satan
Damn it.
is not an adversary to be taken lightly.
What was that cut? What are these cuts?
She's doing it again.
If someone help, why is this little boy alone all this time?
Lorraine, you need to come back. Is saving him worth everything you have? Because that's what Mayfair will cost me.
Oh, it's day again.
Lorraine!
Okay, well, obviously she's just not gonna die. It's definitely his strength, and he does a good job with camera movements as well. He's really good with the cinematography. I mean, like, I like what he does there.
Oh, it says
so.
June 4th.
Oh, June 4th. Okay, that's
All
not
right,
too bad.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you recommend this. Like, if you were to recommend this for the podcast, I will watch it. I'm not.
Yeah, I'd probably watch
I'm
it
just
too.
not very
Yeah.
interested in seeing it personally.
Yeah, I know, it's okay. I get it. I mean, like, the trailer doesn't excite me that much. I hope there's gonna be some better scares in the film, because like it just seems like they're peddling a lot of the jump scares, which like a lot of these horror franchises have become reliant on, which is annoying because that's not real horror. You know, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, personally, I like it better when they use horror as a vehicle to something else.
Yeah.
A lot of these types of horror movies I find just are doing horror for the sake of horror, which is just pointless to me. Especially like if you just go to a movie only to be scared, I really don't find any purpose in it. That's why I enjoy films like Midsommar, because I think there's a lot to be said about grief and lots of other interesting and weird things alongside the more frightening, I think most people describe it more as disturbing than scary. But
no, that's true. Yeah.
Anyways, let's do our tier list real quick. So we're gonna be doing film franchises / trilogies.
Okay.
Well, it's technically called film franchises, but there's some trilogies in here, so I just call it. What do you want to start with, Aiden? Which one do you want to start with?
Well,
I think we might have more
we
to say
have
about Mother, personally, because I think there's a lot of wild
Yeah.
shit in that movie.
yeah.
So do you want to get
We
Nomadland
definitely do
over
have a
with?
lot to say about Mother, so let's get into that, honestly.
Oh, do you want to
my-
get into that right now? Okay.
Yeah, why
So-
not? Why
alright,
not?
alright.
Or we could save it so people keep watching.
So let's save it. I
Yeah,
want
okay,
to. I'm
let's
on the
do
safe
Nomadland
side.
first.
Let's go Nomadland.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think we're gonna pretty much have the same agreements on this film. I
Yeah.
like, I saw it at the online TIFF. I
Yeah.
got to see it, so I saw like the second premiere of the movie. I'm pretty proud of that, especially if it wins Best Picture. I'll have seen, like one of the first premieres of a Best Picture winning movie, which I've never seen a Best Picture movie like before it won Best Picture before, so this is cool.
Yeah.
For sure. You could have said that with 1917, but I guess I don't know. Did you see
Yeah.
Parasite before it won Best Picture? I'm curious. Did you?
Yeah, no, I think I saw it like right before the Oscar ceremony, if I'm not mistaken. So
Okay, cool.
yeah.
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 Yeah, I don't really have anything smart to say or trying to be smart, I think this film, like, I think a lot of people don't think it has a greater purpose, but I think that's
Yeah.
maybe what makes it beautiful. I think there's a lot to be said for a movie that just feels like it's about a normal person,
Yeah.
And yeah, like, like sometimes there's a lot of comfort and a lot of, awe of being able to make a movie that feels like it could be you, right? Or you
Yeah.
in the future, right? You could see yourself being in this position and kind of doing the same things the character doing. And I think that's one of the great things about this movie is that it really doesn't feel like fiction at all. It feels very real. And obviously it's very documentary-esque, so that kind of helps. But I think the way Chloe Zhao directed this movie, which will probably win an Oscar, and I think will totally be deserved, is how much she made this, like, real life.
Yeah.
And, and she made real life very beautiful, along with Joshua James Richards, the cinematographer, because I think the cinematography is really well captured. I really love the wide lenses they use in this movie, like, capturing Frances McDormand Fern in these, wide shots, so they capture both her and her environment. I love that. The natural lighting is great, feels very believable, and I just love that part for sure.
No, I gotta say the cinematography is fantastic. I love what they do, and like you said, it feels really real, and I think that has to do with them using a lot of real people in the film, aside from David Strahan, right? I mean, like he's the only other really known actor in the film, but I mean, then there's some YouTuber who's an actual nomad who's in the film.
Yeah.
I think I can't remember his name, but I think it was kind of cool they included him in there.
His name is
Bob Wells, yeah, that was it.
Actually makes YouTube videos. You could probably you can search him up on YouTube right now if you wanted to. Frances McDormand. Let's talk about her because her performance is great. I think.
Yeah. Very understated,
again,
but I like it.
Yeah, very understated, very real.
Yeah.
Again, I couldn't she really makes it believe that she's very much a part of this universe. I think she actually did obviously the crew was kind of also living. I think they were all living in vehicles while they were making this movie. So to help add to the experience, I think Frances was the one who originally picked up the rights to the book, and brought it to Chloe Zhao after she saw the writer, and that's how this collaboration came to be. And
Really?
I hope this happens again because I'd love to see another movie with these two. They did a great job. Their work chemistry was amazing. They both were on the same page this whole time. And again, that just adds to the directing, such a consistently real and down to earth movie that has a lot of beautiful things, you know, to be said about it.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I really enjoyed this movie, and I mean, like you've been telling me about all this,
Yeah.
about how great this film was. You wouldn't shut up about it. So I was like,
Mhm.
fine, I'll finally watch it. And I gotta say, yeah, you were 100% right. I was not
Yeah.
disappointed. I
You
love
know,
this film,
when
and
when
I might even watch it again.
Yeah, when I saw this at the TIFF
Yeah.
thing, I was like, "Hey, this is a good movie." You know, this is like
Yeah.
I didn't think it'd be something that would win Best Picture at the time because, like, you know, it doesn't seem like a Best Picture type of movie, but I'm glad that it is kind of the front runner now.
Yeah.
One thing I really enjoyed about it on the rewatch is I will say, from an Oscar perspective, I don't think this would make sense for Frances McDormand's third Oscar.
No.
Personally,
Yeah, I don't know
but
if she'll
think
win.
if she does win, she's totally worthy, 100%.
Yeah. No, for sure. But I still think, like, I obviously haven't seen Promising a Woman, but everyone seems to think Carey Mulligan is going to win for
Yeah, a lot
that,
of
so I
people
wouldn't
do.
be surprised.
It
Yeah.
could be anyone though. I don't want to talk about that. That's too many.
Oh yeah,
too
no,
much
like
head-
we don't want
Yeah,
any
we
more
don't wanna-
terrible
we don't wanna-
comments.
yeah.
So
we don't want
Yeah.
to go into that right now. The editing, that's what really stood out to me, honestly, in this
yeah,
movie,
no, for
'cause
sure.
I think Chloe Zhao was very precise in cutting this movie, because obviously she knew the material very well, being that she directed it, and it was
Yeah.
really, you know, you hang on every conversation very well. I think she stays on it for the perfect amount of time, especially that one scene with the dog. I remember where she's like pats the dog who had to, like, you know, get left behind. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
And hangs on that for a little more than I think a normal director would. And, you know, the way the film holds on moments and cuts between conversations, I think is very engaging. I think that's one of the things that make this movie great, honestly, because you don't think that a movie, especially some of the scenes where it's just two people talking to each other in a pretty, it's a nice looking environment, but it's nothing mind blowing, right? Like, you know, obviously you can make things look a lot better with things like CGI, but, you know, it's still very interesting. And I don't, like, I can see why most people think, like, I thought even myself that a lot of people would find this movie boring. I thought even you might find it boring. But I think there's something really magical in the editing, which I think most people pick up on and are just able to really love this movie.
Yeah, like I've highlighted that in my own review as well. I said that, you know, the scenes don't really like overstay their welcome. I think that happens a lot of movies like that are kind of, I guess at least I've noticed that are kind of like in the front running for like an Oscar, like they kind of like to overindulge just a little bit. But no, like this film gets to the point, and as a result, it's like, I believe it's under an hour and 50 minutes long. Like it's not a super long movie, but
No.
it
Most
feels
like if it does win Best Picture, it will be one of the, I don't know
Yeah.
how many exactly, but most Best Picture winners are longer than 2 hours.
over 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. So this will be one of the few, and, you know, I gotta say it's mostly better for that. It definitely doesn't.
Yeah.
And I think it has you longing for more. I wish there was more to this movie. That's, you know, that's one of the great, like, I usually like how a movie ends. I wanted this movie to keep going, but I think it's also good that it ended, because, you know, I think the smartest thing I can say about this movie is that see you down the road mentality works very well, because one, this film is very rewatchable, so that idea that, you know, you'll see this movie down the road, right? You know, the idea that, like, you know, all these nomads and these people, you'll see each other down the road. I think it's a very positive and nice outlook on life. Like, whatever religion, you hope you see the people that you love again in some shape or form, whether that be in this life or another life, you know. And I think that's a very fun, like, you know, positive and fun thing to look at. And, you know, I think also the idea of revisiting this film is an idea of, like, you know, I'll see you down the road. You'll see this movie again, or you'll see these people work again, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think I like that a lot. I don't know if that sounds like pretentious or bullshit. But
No, I don't think that's
kinda my
pretentious
feelings
at all. I would have to agree with you there. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. So as far as the score, what would you give it?
Well, I got a couple things for
Oh, you still got
me.
more? Oh my God!
Me.
All right,
I always got more things to say.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it.
Let me do my quick rant. I love that I saw this before most people, because I can kind of say I knew about Chloe Zhao before other people, and sort of before Marvel. Obviously she got that, and, you know, some people are criticizing her, being like, "Oh, she's a sellout," and it's like, I'm pretty sure she's gonna make a great movie. That's all I'm gonna say. Eternals may or may not be one of maybe the best MCU. I wouldn't say that's definitely impossible.
It definitely has potential. I would love to see
100%.
what they can do with that film. Yeah.
You know, there's been critiques of this film about how, you know, they treat Amazon too easily. You know, it's like saying that, like, you know, the statements that she says she, like, has great money and that she's, like, doing fine there. but I don't know exactly.
We
what
know
people
that's not
wanted.
true.
Exactly, but I think I don't know what they wanted. Like, I don't know if they wanted to see her like physically struggling to keep up with the work or something like that, because that feels like.
I mean, like, yeah,
being
because it
more
was produced by
mystery
Amazon
porn.
Studios, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. It was not.
It wasn't?
It was not. It was. I think. I don't know how the agreement worked, but I think it was in the book for one. But the book also criticizes Amazon a lot more than this movie does. To be fair. But
maybe they totally
you do
don't.
I hope people realize it's first for one, it's not about that. Two, she's still in her van.
Yeah.
She's still trying. Like, she's still not like living off of Amazon. And the way that Amazon works in this case is that basically just a small cash infusion, and then she has to leave. Obviously, the working conditions aren't as bad, but maybe back in 2011, which is where this film takes place, mind you, Amazon wasn't, I don't think, as big as it was today, so there might not have been the same practices they used to, because obviously they have a lot of demand to keep up with these days. So I think there's that to consider, because it is a period piece.
Which is weird. I mean, like, I still can't believe 2011 is now considered a period piece.
Technically,
like, for a film.
I mean, it's 10 years ago.
I know, it's weird, man. Fucking time is flying by.
Yeah. I like the moment where she opens the chicken noodle soup with her hands. It's pretty badass. I would never do that. I always use a knife to make sure I don't get cut. I think this will win Best Picture one as well, because I don't think it's really a consensus number 2. Trial of Chicago 7 feels like the closest thing to that. Minari also feels pretty close to that. The music isn't amazing, but it's good, and I like it, and I think it very much fits the movie. I think I really like the emphasis of the use of like items, and you can call them props since this is a movie, but things like the chicken soup, the spa masks, the coffee, the cigarettes, and like the lights and the rocks are all very memorable. Which is really weird to say for a movie. You kind of remember those things, right, about those films. Like, they're so, there is, like, I think Chloe Zhao is saying that there is something important about items, even though obviously these people don't have a lot and they're easily giving them away. But there's still something important about the idea of sharing and, having items for yourself, right? Like the plate collection that she gets mad that David Strathairn's character, Dave, drops. Oh yeah, his name is just Dave. I mean, yeah. And I think that's another impressive movie thing this movie does. So as far as the score, I'd say a 9 out of 10. I really enjoy this movie.
I would give it the same.
Yeah. I think it's really great.
Yeah.
It holds up on rewatch, which is great to know. And I think there's a lot of value. It's just a nice little movie overall, and it's going to be a nice little movie that wins Best Picture probably. We'll confirm that on the stream tomorrow, but very much looking forward to that.
Oh yeah,
definitely, since Chloe Zhao is definitely going to win Best Director, second woman ever to win, great. First woman of color to win, also great. And one of the first women of Asian descent to win, also great.
It's great, honestly. Good all around.
She's a great
love that
talent that deserves to be recognized. All right, let's talk about the big boy, the Darren Aronofsky, the guy, the man, the weird boy, the guy. I want to quickly tell you. So there's a movie called The Whale he's making. I want to, like, the idea is it's apparently about a 600-pound man who's like eating himself to death. Yeah, I don't know what you think of that. I'm probably gonna watch it. I don't know. I don't know why I brought that up. It just shows Darren Aronofsky.
What the hell?
Okay, what do you think the purpose of this film was? What do you think it was?
I don't fucking know, man. This thing is just I was worried about this film because I had heard so many like bizarre things about it. In fact, it's like one of the few films out there to have an F on Cinema Score, which is like rates audience score, right?
Yeah.
It's fucking insane. Like, I don't even know where to start. First of all, why does Jennifer Lawrence keep talking about the sink? Second of all, they ate a baby in the film. What the fuck, man? Why would you make me watch this? This is what the fuck is this film?
Okay. All right, let me. The thing is, okay. So
I can't.
let me know. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you a story here. So, Mr. Darren Aronofsky, you know,
Yes.
auteur director. One
Yes.
weekend, he's just at his cottage or whatever, you know, probably something, and you know, he probably has like a stack of books because you know most directors like to read, and then he's like, okay, oh here's the Bible, all right, and he reads the Bible and he's like, this is bullshit. At least that's my interpretation of what he's interpreting here, and so he's like, oh this is fucking stupid. Oh, let me make a movie about this, all right? So, let me explain this movie. So we got Jennifer Lawrence, who's like, depending on your perspective, is either the wife of God or Mother Earth, okay?
Yeah.
Because remember, this is all a metaphor, which, you know, you can't always get into, all right? Javier Bardem is God, okay?
Yeah.
That gem thing, that's like the ability. That's like the thing that makes. That's like God's ability to make Earth. Okay, so when he places the thing down, he makes Earth or the house. The house is Earth. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I wrote my thoughts on this out of sequence, so I don't.
Okay. Yeah.
Let me try to. So we got Michelle Pfeiffer and Ed Harris. They're Adam and Eve. Okay. You know the first two people. They show up. Mother Nature doesn't like it because, you know, those two, they're sinners. I'm pretty sure they don't treat the earth too nice a little bit. That's why I'm thinking it's more of a wife of God situation, because I'm assuming she kind of wanted Earth to herself. Like, I don't know. That perspective, I don't know whether it's the wife of God or Mother Earth. Anyways. So then we got Domhnall Gleeson and his brother. That's Cain and Abel. So the famous story of Cain and Abel is that, you know, that was the first murder, one of the first, you know, disturbing sin, as it were, the big sin, the killing, the taking of another life, right?
Yeah, this is
so
just genius.
Yeah,
oh my god. Oh my god.
No, this is okay. I'm pretty sure this is right. Okay, this doesn't make it good necessarily, but it is what he's going.
Yeah, no,
for.
it's fine. Like you're doing a good. I have to agree. Makes sense. But...
So then. Jennifer Lawrence, you know, the people are coming in. There's a lot of people, you know, there's all the people, and she's like, okay, you remember that line where she's like, I'm starting the apocalypse or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So the thing that she flushes down the toilet, that's like the flood, you know, Noah, which he also did a movie on. You know, the earth floods, everyone dies, and then more people come to Earth, right? Because, you know, Javier Bardem saved some people, right? So then we got people, all these people, but more people are coming in, and they're starting to admire Javier Bardem, God. You know, they're worshiping God, but then more people start coming into the earth or the house, and they start destroying it, right? I don't know the sink. The sink, I have no idea what he was going for with the sink, other than it was just something that I don't know what the sink is. Okay, I don't know what he was trying to do with that. That was I will admit that was a bit dumb. How many times she was focused on the sink, other than I guess a person who knows a sink isn't braced would be like, oh crap, the sink isn't braced, it's gonna break, kind of thing, right? Yeah. So all that chaos, all right, that's like the wars, because there's a lot of wars in the Old Testament, all right? That's all the wars, you know, in the police, that's all the wars, and you know, obviously wars hurt Mother Earth, right? Because the people are being hurt and stuff like that, all right? And then you know, and then we got the baby, right? That's Jesus, right? You know, and they all want to see him, right? They all wanted to see Jesus in the New Testament, right? And then they kill him, right? Because they kill him in the New Testament. Jesus dies, right? And then the eating part is that before Jesus died, he said, "This is my body given for you. Eat this in remembrance of me." Darren Aronofsky said, "Okay, I'm going to take that literally and have them eat the child." Okay, which, you know, is a thing. And then you know, they continue to destroy Mother Earth or Jennifer Lawrence. They start kicking her, calling her slurs, you know, and stripping her clothes. It's supposed to be a metaphor for the abuse of the earth, right? / you know, the world. And then she's like to Javier Bardem, or like, and then she's like, okay, I can't take this anymore, and the house blows up, right? That's like, you know, the point of climate change / destruction to the earth. That's too much, that the whole earth just blows up. But then Javier Bardem being God just says, okay, I'm going to make another Earth. Bam. There you go.
You know, I think that's a pretty good description of
that
it.
was,
Still, I do not like how this movie presents it because it's just so fucking off the wall, insane. It's like I hated Noah, and I didn't know what to expect from this. But I heard a lot of crazy things about it, like I said. But this movie is by far it's way worse than Noah.
It's way worse than Noah.
Yeah, dude.
Jeez.
Like, this is just so fucking bizarre. It's just it's weird in all the wrong ways. I don't like it at all, man. It's so pretentious.
So you would have been one of the guys to give it F at Cinema Score?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay.
I did not like this movie, especially the baby eating part. What the fuck? I don't want to see that, man. Come on.
I mean, yeah. I do think
that conceptually it's good, but like execution wise, it's just disturbing on every level. What the fuck, man?
And so I would argue that this film is good, right? I don't think it's amazing. I think it's good. The reason being is that it does everything it wants to, right? You can't admit that you can't say that Darren Aronofsky didn't. I'm pretty sure he was meaning to disturb people, right? With the story of God, like, you know, I think he's trying to mock it because, you know, if all this stuff is real, because it's mostly playing off of stuff that's in the Bible, and all this disturbing shit can happen, how can, you know, God be real? How could God allow for all this shit, right? You know, how could he allow for all this disturbing stuff to happen? He's definitely exaggerating a lot of it, though. You know...
You think? Yeah, I mean...
I think they should have kept it more... I like... The use of extras and the chaos and scale of it all, I think is pretty impressive. Like you said, the cinematography...
Okay, I will admit that. That's pretty good. I like the
works pretty
cinematography,
well,
too.
right?
Yeah.
That's about it. He did take it too far, I think. I think the panic and just the anxiousness of Jennifer Lawrence's character was enough. Even though I don't know if Jennifer Lawrence fits this very well. For one, she was most known for, like, the Hunger Games before this. So there might have been, like, a lot of Hunger Games / Jennifer Lawrence fans who went in this movie. And they probably, you know, walked out and were just like, what the fuck?
What the hell
easily.
was that?
And, you know, like I said, I think this is just one man's interpretation of the Bible. And, you know, it's pretty fucked. And... Yeah, I think a much better movie that kind of covers, like, the idea of religion or Christianity and the environment better is First Reformed, which is also disturbing, but in a much more subtle way than this fucking movie. And I think you should watch that. It's also just as good on a technical scale. Because while the technical scale of this movie, I think is very impressive and very ambitious, this was a movie... And the thing is... You know, I don't know what Darren thinks in his mind. It's very clear he wrote this in a weekend, because the messages aren't very well thought out, I think. I think this movie clearly has some ideas. I think the movie tries to make it look like there's a lot more happening. I think there's some film people who give this a 10 because they think it has a lot of meaning. It has some meaning. It doesn't have a lot. And, you know, and obviously if you think it's too disturbing, and I think it is unnecessarily disturbing in some parts, you might hate it, which I can 100% understand why you hate this movie.
Yep.
I don't know. Do you have anything else to say?
Can we just go back to the sink? What the fuck is up with that, man?
You know,
please get off the sink. It's
they're
not
sitting on the sink.
Get off the sink,
gonna
please.
break. It's gonna break. You know, like what if you had a sink that wasn't, you know, braced?
But why was that so heavily featured? It means nothing. Like,
because the sink's gonna break and her house is gonna be broken, you know?
Oh, God. Well, I can never mind then. I'm so sorry. I didn't think of it. Look, I don't even know what to say, man. I've said that all.
Me recommending this was kind of a big joke. I'll be honest.
No, I know. You were telling me that. It's like, I was like, yes, that's what I need to pick. I guess, is this you getting back at me for making you watch A California Christmas?
No, not really. That's not my... That was not my... Like, I don't think you can... Well, The California Christmas is a bad movie, right? This movie is fucking wild. I don't think you can really say it's bad. I think personal preference, if you think this shit's unnecessarily way too disturbing, I can easily see you giving a way low score, which is why I got an F. But technically, on a technical scale, I think this is still an impressive movie. And I enjoy,
fair enough. I will give it that.
A certain extent, what he's going for. I think he's mostly talking out of. I think he's mostly coming out of his ass, like talking out of his ass. Or,
he is.
It's very, like I said, it's very clear he made this in a weekend. He was just like, I don't know who the fuck who the fuck, what studio made this fucking movie?
Good question,
Mother
actually.
Studio. Yeah. I don't know. Say anything else you want quickly. I don't know if you do. Or is that it?
No, I'm burnt out, man. Like that movie just sucked the fucking life out of me.
Paramount, of course, fucking Paramount made this.
Fucking Paramount, man.
Paramount's been making some very questionable decisions lately, as far as their release slate and.
I never want to see this movie again, to be honest.
I mean, fair enough. I'll probably watch this again. I don't know. I'm definitely not gonna watch it with anyone else. I think there's I think there's very few other people who appreciate what he was going for. Most people think it's way too disturbing, but. Keep in mind, I mean, like they didn't actually eat a kid, right?
I know, but still, the whole idea of it.
No children were harmed in the making of this movie.
Oh my god!
But also the fact that you have to like subject yourself to watching it and thinking about it, you know, it could be. I could see it as being cruel and an unusual punishment. So maybe I just forced you to like, I don't know. Maybe I violated your charter rights. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Like I said, I think a lot of the ambition feels unnecessary, except for maybe all the extras, which I think is very impressive. And it's definitely an experience, though I think it's one you're never gonna want to experience again. I never want to
experience that again. I couldn't even finish Noah, like, because I thought that was disturbing, and I managed to finish this, and I regret it, honestly. Like,
okay, I mean. I appreciate you finishing it at least. Even though I think the end is maybe the part where it goes a little too much off the rails. I think the rest of it is fine. You know.
Alright, well, okay, so as far as the score though, what would you give this?
I'm curious, I want to hear you first, because I gave it a good score.
Okay, so I mean, like you said, technically I think it's very well done. I gotta say, I really do like the cinematography. I think that's always, like we touched on a little bit at the beginning of the video, like Darren Aronofsky is really good with cinematography.
Yeah, Matthew
and I like that.
is the cinematographer. Asian guy.
Yeah.
He's cool. He does a good job. He also did a Star is Born.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool.
I think the editing for the most part isn't too bad either.
Yeah, I think that
so
works.
I can't knock it too much, right? I mean, but everything else just really brings the movie down, like, really low, and as a result, I'm going to give it the second lowest score I've ever given a film, and that's a 3.5 out of 10.
Okay.
So,
all right.
All that good technical stuff does not save it for me. I'm sorry. I will never unsee that baby eating scene. Okay.
And that's Darren. That was my purpose, and also probably Darren Aronofsky's purpose. Yeah, I feel like this was just a prank on a bunch of like Jennifer Lawrence fans. Speaking of which, I don't know. Who's? I'm wondering if this was like Jennifer Lawrence's idea because she wanted to like make some art with Darren Aronofsky, and then she saw the script and she was like, "Cool." I can't imagine. I don't know. I guess I don't know. Let's see. Or her agent said you should do this movie. I'm really curious.
Yeah, you gotta share that teen idol image you have.
Everyone else makes sense in this movie. Jennifer Lawrence doesn't really. Like why? No. Like why is Katniss?
Like Javier Bardem is a very disturbing actor because he's kind of been typecast as the disturbing man a lot of the time. I feel like so it makes sense.
And now he gets to play God.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah. Oh, God is a sick fuck. Let's be honest.
And I guess you can also. Take it as like a relationship metaphor. I'll say that,
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know. I don't want to try to guess.
What are you gonna give this score? What are you gonna give this
movie? I gave it an 8 out of 10. The reason being, technical craft, very good. I enjoyed a lot of it, what it was going for, but like you said, I think it goes too off the rails, disturbing. So honestly, this might have been a 10 out of 10 if it didn't do that, or very close. Like
you need to give me the contact details of whoever sold you that shit you're smoking, man. That must be some good stuff, honestly. I want to try that. Jesus
Christ.
Called an 8 out of 10? Oh my god. I would have understood a 6. I would have understood a 6 or a 7, but an 8?
An 8. Ah! Bro, I was close to giving this thing a 9, and then I saw Bro, I was so honestly, I low-key might have given this a 10 if it wasn't for some of the choices, okay?
Come on.
I'm not This is, it's movies, and it's a very well-made movie. It's a well-made movie. and I'm not as disturbed by it as you. I think it's a little too disturbing.
Look, dude,
But
let me just give you some perspective,
it's
okay?
so
I have seen a
interesting to
movie
me,
where
this
a
movie.
man has got inside an elephant's vagina and another elephant has fucked that vagina, okay? And I saw this, and I think this is more disturbing than that, okay? So, I'm just saying, like, it's a weird fucking film. I would never watch it again. Same with that
Okay.
other one, obviously. But oh my god, Jesus Christ.
All right.
You know, I will respect your score. You did give me a good thought out answer, so I'm not gonna say
Yeah.
too much more on that. It's just I would never.
You know, in my understanding, if I didn't know what he was going for, again, I probably would hate it. But I know what he's going for, and I enjoyed it to a certain extent, right? Like I didn't give it a 10. There's a reason. There's a reason for that. All right. So that was our very interesting discussion on Mother.
Yes.
So next week, since, you know, we've been talking about movies this whole time, right?
Yes.
And the Oscars are on Sunday. We'll be talking about movies there, obviously, because they're all about movies. They're celebrating movies. So we decided we're gonna take a break. We're gonna take a break off of movies for a week.
Yep.
Next week we're gonna be doing a TV episode. Me and Aiden are gonna recommend each other at least one season of television, which hopefully we'll be able to watch before the next episode. And then we'll just talk about TV in general, our favorite TV shows, recommend each other other shows, in general. Yeah. Before that, I want to hear, Aiden, did you watch anything else this week that you think is worthy of a mention?
Well, obviously, I watched the finale of Falcon and Winter Soldier. I really enjoyed that. What else did I watch, though? I don't know if I watched a ton, to be honest. I mean, I watched the Snyder Cut. I should mention that.
Oh,
we talked a little bit about that. Yeah. No, like it's definitely an improvement over the first Justice League, and you mentioned this earlier to me, like off camera, like because since you haven't seen the original Justice League,
I'm
you're gonna
get
have like a much
the
different
unfiltered
perspective on it.
version of it, because I think the vast majority of people who've seen the Snyder Cut have seen the first one. So I'm gonna be one with the, you know, I don't want to be snobby, but I want to say I kind of have a more objective standpoint on this movie.
No, fair enough. I think that's fair. Yeah.
To a certain extent, yeah. My recommendations. So I saw Birdman. I mentioned this quickly. It's a great movie.
Oh yeah.
Won Best Picture in 2014. All done in one take. Michael Keaton. The acting is amazing. Story very interesting. Definitely a recommendation there. I watched this movie called Yi Yi. I'm not sure if I mentioned it. It's a Taiwanese film from Edward Yang. Very interesting director. I loved it a lot. I think you might too. It reminds me of Nomadland a little bit, because it's kind of like, I think it's trying to be more grandiose about life than Nomadland, but it's very realistic, very calm, and very centered. And Blue Jasmine, and a pedophile movie.
Woody Allen.
But you know, despite that, he still made a good movie here. I liked it.
Okay.
Kate Blanchett is amazing. I think all the acting is very good. Sally Hawkins is also great. I think Sally Hawkins continues to be one of my favorite actresses consistently. I think she's I think she's so good in almost everything she's in. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll have to see one of her bad movies to not think that. Anyways, so Aiden, what do you think you're gonna recommend me? What season of television are you gonna recommend to me for our TV episode?
Ooh, okay. Well, have you ever seen Shameless?
No, I've not.
Okay, well, look, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not like fucking Emmy award-winning TV, all right? But it's not bad. It's an interesting story. It's based off a British series. It's about like these people. They're like living in destitute in Chicago, and it's just about like their daily lives. It's family drama, pretty much. So it's kind of interesting. It's got a good cast. I mean, William H. Macy, Joan Cusack. So yeah, I mean, like if you want to watch, it's a long season, so I don't expect you to watch the whole thing, right? But just watch a few episodes.
Of the first season,
So,
I'm assuming.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. If I don't like it at all, would you recommend? Is there a backup? Or I don't know if you had a backup.
Well,
Just in case I really hate
I
it.
don't know if I don't have a backup. I'll have to come back to you on that one, but I'll think of something. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So my recommendation is the season 1 of Euphoria.
Okay.
I think I mentioned this maybe once or twice. It stars Zendaya. And it also a great cast. It's about teenagers, and it's unrealistic, but it's supposed to be about teenagers dealing with things like drugs, sex, and relationships in high school. And I think it's really interesting, really well shot. Lots of energy. I think what this the series does very well is kind of match that like teenage angst and energy much better than other movies that try to do that. slash TV shows that try to do that. So that's my recommendation. My backup, if you have time, I guess, is Mindhunter, which is on Netflix. David Fincher directed the first 2 episodes as well as the last 2 of the first season, and as well as 3 in the second one. I think it's a very good show.
Okay.
The first season, especially in the later episodes, is great. The first episode's a little weaker, I'll say, but get through that first episode and the rest of it is great.
All right, gotcha.
Okay, so
cool.
yeah, that seems cool. I'll mention something that's coming up this next week. There's a lot of good interesting stuff coming out in May. But before May is April, of course, and Mitchell's vs. the Machines, a Phil Lord and Christopher Miller produced animation movie, directed by Michael Rionda, is coming to Netflix on April 30th. It's gotten pretty good reviews already. People enjoy it, so I'm gonna definitely be checking that out. And look out for that. I'd say. All right, I think this has been a solid episode, so we'll wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, make sure to go follow Aiden at GBD Reviews. Make sure to go subscribe to my channel. I just hit 50 subscribers. I already have a few over 50 now, so I'm hoping to get to 100 maybe eventually. That's the goal, of course. So if you guys could go over there, I'd really appreciate that.